Hi, I'm Cameron Humphreys from Humphreys Outdoor Power, and today we are going to talk about trimmers. We're going to replace the plastic blades on this trimmer head, and then I'm actually going to take this trimmer head off and replace it with a string line. We're also going to show how to wind that string line. So a lot on the docket today. Let's dive in. So this is actually my trimmer from home. It's a Stihl FS91R. As you can see here, I've been running these plastic blades because I've got some cattle panels that I'm trimming around, and these blades tend to hold up a little bit better than the line itself. Works really well for that, but as you can see, I've got some breakage on some of these tips here. So I'm going to replace these. I've got a bag full of the replacement blades, so we'll go into how to change those off. And then actually, I'm going to take this entire head off and replace it with the line head that came with it. And that line head is actually empty, so we're going to go ahead and re-spool that as well. So for right now, though, we're going to go into how to get these blades off of this piece. And this is, like I said, an FS91R, although it will be the same for an FS56, an FS91, FS111, or 131. So all those will be the same. So sit back, we're going to get this thing off real quick. All right, so like I said, we're going to start off by taking these blades off of this guy. You don't have to do this, but I really like using the vise grip to kind of get this head up in the air. There's a lot of ways to do it. You can also just hold it and start spinning it. But for this, I'm going to lock this down. I like to put a rag in there so I don't tear up my shaft. And then with every trimmer you get one of these little metal guys. This is really important. So there's a slot down here at the bottom. You stick that in and it will stop that clutch plate from spinning, which will allow us to then spin this head off. And then once we get this loose, we can pop this guy off. And then once that's off, you can see these blades just pop right off right here. This little ring goes over this piece. Now, it is a good time to mention, so I said that I had these extra blades around. I also have this bag filled up with water, and that's to keep these blades from getting brittle. So they're hopefully soaking up some of that water, be less brittle, and they'll hopefully last a little bit longer moving forward. So what we'll do now is just grab out two of these. So we've got both of these. We'll throw these on here like so. And then if I was using this, I just line this back up, get the holes in the right position, and then just start spinning that back on. And you can see that that will just clamp down. Now, as it is, I'm not actually going to use this piece. So for now, I'm just going to take this back off, like so. Put these back in the bag, so that they'll continue to hold moisture and not get too brittle. And then we will move over to the actual string head that came with the trimmer. All right, so this is the head that originally came with the FS91R. They've got some different ones now, a few different designs. This is just your basic string head, where as you bump this, the line feeds out the side as it's spinning around. They now have some with metal plates at the bottom that last a little bit longer. They've also got some that are a little bit easier to wind, where you just snap them in and then you twist this. That's a very popular one as well. But again, this is the one I have, so this is the one I'm going to use. So the first step in replacing the line on this is to pop out down here on the side. If your hands are big enough, you can squeeze that and get it to pop out. But as you can see, so we twist this and then it pops right out. It does have line on it. For the sake of this video, we'll go ahead and take that off and restring it so that we can show you how to do that. So actually, this is a good place to start. So about arm's width, most of my bottom was still intact. So we can shove this in there's a little hole right here. We shove this piece into that little hole. Now this may not look like your regular run-of-the-mill string. This is not. This is the X string by Stihl, and it is at 105. So this 91R it comes originally with 95 thousandths, which is that orange string, but it can run up to 105, and I personally like the added cutting ability of this X string. So it's kind of become my go-to. I'm a big fan. There are other types you can try. They've got Kevlar string now too, which is becoming very, very popular as well. But once we get that piece stuck in there like that, we're just going to begin to wrap this around like so. Just like that. And then once we get to about right there, this has a little lock in it. We can put that string inside this lock, and it will hold that for us while we do the other piece. Like so. Now we're going to take this line out, and we're going to get some more, spread it all the way out like that. And then we've got this awesome line cutter. So it's a little piece of plastic. You just spin the line, and if you see in there, there's a little bitty blade. So what you do is you fold this up like this, and then put this over it, and it cuts it beautifully. You don't have to deal with side cuts or any kind of fraying at the end of this. This thing cuts it off wonderfully. So you can just, again, take this piece, shove it back within that hole, kind of get this top piece out of the way. Probably should do the top first instead of the bottom, but it won't be a big deal. Bend that back over itself, and then continue to wind that like so. Pop it up into that holder right there, and then we're going to pop this into the holder as well. So now we have two lines hanging out. This guy's a little bit longer than we need. We can trim it down again with our trimmers. We'll go ahead and take it and trim it down. Now that it's a more manageable size, we can take our head and we can put this back in it. It's got a spring on it, and we can feel that as we spin it, and we can actually lock this down underneath the blocks. You'll feel it lock. Now it's stuck in there, it's not coming out. So now we can take these pieces, take them out of these locking mechanisms, the line itself, and we can feed it back through these eyelets right here. So we just kind of pop it back and through the eyelet, again making sure that that stays down. Now we're through the eyelet, and then we can put our cap back on. And it pops on like that, and now we've restrung our string line. So to put it back on our head, we'll just kind of get it started here. It spins the opposite direction, get it to where it's kind of tight, and then we will take that metal piece that we used before, stick it in the hole to stop that clutch plate from spinning, and then just tighten it up. Then we want to look at where that line is in relation to this cutter back here. It's just easier to cut it now as opposed to whenever it's going and running and slapping that. We can go ahead and take care of it now, trim it up with those line cutters like so. And just like that, we've gone from the plastic blades to the string line. And we're ready to go around the house a little bit more. I do like the string line around the house itself. I think it does a better job of cutting. But again, these plastic blades are better up against that fence. So this has been a really quick tutorial of changing out string line, changing out heads on an FS91R. So make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want more content like this, and be sure to comment some other videos you may want to see. Thanks and have a great day.